And now that the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives has voted to impeach President Trump, the question is, what comes next?
Republicans want a speedy Senate trial, but Democrats are considering delaying sending the articles of impeachment to the Senate. So just what can we expect? Western Mass News reporter Sarah Grinelli joins us now with insight from a legal expert. Sarah?
Last night's votes in the House are historic. President Trump is now the third president in American history to be formally impeached. Now it's up to the Senate for a next move. President Donald Trump now joins President Andrew Johnson and President Bill Clinton, all impeached by the U.S. House of Representatives.
They got precedence in the records from President Johnson's impeachment proceedings and more recently Bill Clinton's. And the Senate parliamentarian, that's a fancy title for people who make up rules in the Senate and interpret the rules that exist, appears to have created a book or set of rules for governing these kinds of things.
Western Mass News spoke with former Justice and current lawyer John Graney to break down what's next. He points out the stage is now set for President Trump's Senate trial. Ultimately, the senators on both sides will set the ground rules for the proceeding.
It's called a trial, but it's really not. It's a very unique proceeding unknown to, the world of the law. It's not a criminal trial like a lot of people are analogizing it to.
Presiding over the entire proceeding is a Chief Justice.
The Chief Justice is there to preside, but he doesn't play the role of a typical judge as you see in a courtroom. He basically makes no rulings. If something comes up that's a problem, he tells the senators to go off and meet and decide by a majority of the senators what they want to do about whatever the problem is.
Then there are prosecutors who are called the House managers. Justice Graney says while the Republicans have defense lawyers, the Democrats present the articles of impeachment against the president. And the senators will act as the jury. A big question is whether witnesses will testify.
A live witness, as they had in the House proceedings, and as they do in the courts, makes a very, very big difference. And that's why I think Senator McConnell and the Republicans are a little jittery about bringing in live witnesses that testified.
One person who could testify is the president himself, but Justice Graney says that's unlikely.
Senator McConnell and the others will talk him out of that. That's much too dangerous for him, particularly in the hands of skilled lawyers who the House managers have.
In the end, 2/3 of the Senate has to vote to convict the president on both charges. That could pose a challenge for Democrats.
Since they're the distinct minority, there's 53 Republicans and only 45 Democrats plus 2 independents that usually vote Democratic. They're going to have to do a lot of negotiating, rely a lot on public sentiment, on what the public wants to.
Senator Mitch McConnell says he plans to set the start date for the trial at the end of this week. When the Senate does vote, that will be behind closed doors. In the studio, Sarah Grinelli, Western Mass News.